So if you're a DJ and you're thinking about how can I make extra money with the equipment I have, right? It's all around you. This might be the video for you, because this is 5 ways to make more money with your PA equipment. So right now you're going out, you've got yourself a controller, maybe a mixer, you've got some wireless equipment, you've got some speakers, you're doing gigs out there, you are hustling, you're making money, you're doing your thing, and you've got an income doing it. Could be part-time, could be full-time, but if it's full-time, you're probably doing some of these extra things we're going to talk about in today's video. But if you're not doing them, this might be a little bit of a nice way to give you some reassurance that, you know what, it is a good way to make money. You're already doing a lot. You're at the top end of PAing yourself out. You know, doing public address through a DJ setup is a lot of work. You've got a controller, you're dealing with the music, you're dealing with the people. Maybe you're somebody who does weddings, and if you're doing weddings, then you know it's a lot of work. Nobody's going to take that away from you. There's a lot of work that's got to be done. But amazingly enough, there are ways to make more money on different days of the week during different times of the year, and that's what we're going to talk about. It's quite a nice way to make extra income, and for some people, it's a transition. They get, you know, to a point where they like doing these other things so much that they focus on that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is actually staying as a DJ. Keep doing that thing you're doing, but schedule it so it's on a regular basis. So where weddings, you're basically going out, investing time and money to make that particular gig happen. So you're going to the wedding shows, you're paying to be there, you're doing all these things. But you could go to your local bars, pubs, restaurants, things like that, where they're looking to up the game on a Thursday night or a Tuesday night, and bringing in a DJ to do special events, have special parties, that sort of thing, is a good way to do it. Now, don't do it for free. Don't say, hey, you know what, I'm going to do this one weekend, we're going to do that kind of thing. No, try and work together with some restaurants and bars. Don't be shy. You got to be a salesperson. You got to get out there and talk to them. Say, you know what, I do a lot of weddings and people really like that atmosphere. And I thought, you know what, maybe we can do something together in your restaurant to bring that atmosphere here and make extra money. It's a great way, because I mean, you're going to get paid the same amount to do the show there for 4 hours as you would for a wedding, but you didn't have to actually spend any money advertising, marketing, doing all the appointment schedules, stuff like that. And if it works out, you're doing this every week. You've got yourself a solid gig every Tuesday or Thursday night, and you're going to make some good coin. I know a lot of people who own restaurants. I know a lot of DJs who have started this type of setup arrangement with people who own restaurants, and it's working out really well. So again, you do have to approach them, go there, talk to them about it, see if it's possible, make an appointment, of course, and then, well, do that pitch. Talk to them about what you've done, how it works, how easy it can be, how beneficial it is for not just you, but for them especially, because they're the ones who want you there. And they've probably done this and they probably already know about it. The idea is that you're going to have a personality. You're going to have a take on what it's going to be. For a lot of people, it's like that retro, that 90s thing that, you know, doing all these things where, you know, you've got a crowd of the 40-year-olds that want to go somewhere and they want a 9 till midnight thing going on because, you know, they got to go to work the next day. This is what we're talking about. It's very profitable, very lucrative. It's very good for you and very good for a restaurant. So that's my first thought. Now, again, you probably already know this. And if you do, act on it. You're leaving money on the table. There are lots of special events. So number two is, you know, going out there and doing all these special events. Things are taking place. You know, people want to put on their shows, their events. For example, we do some stuff. I do it for free. So let's not confuse what I do for free for promotional purposes versus what you can absolutely charge for. And that's, you know, for example, I do a thing for a Humane Society. We supply them with equipment. We go out there, we set it all up. We make sure it's working properly for them. We help them out. But if we weren't there to do that for them, they would be paying somebody else, which is what they've done in the past. You can be that person. There are lots and lots of special events that require somebody to come out and do the PA setup. So you go out there with your PA equipment, you set up the microphones, you take care of all that, you have background music. Again, you're not being as much as a DJ like you would think about it as a wedding or in a bar, but you're more background entertainment, and you are really doing the PAing for them. You're getting everything they need set up and running all the time. So this way, for the next 6 hours that their event is going on, they've got PA system ready to go at any moment. That is very important. That's a very big gig out there, by the way. So again, once you get your feelers out there, you go to these organizations, you ask them if they have special events. And remember, do your homework ahead of time. Go to a lot of organizations, a lot of places, websites. See if they have special events. See what they're doing. And when you see that, you're going to realize you're going to have a schedule of things they need done. Now, they may have these things already booked for this year with somebody, but there's nothing saying that you can't be that person that takes over after that or comes in with offering them more. And notice I'm not saying for less, because you really don't want to start driving down prices. You're going to have a set price. You're going to have a set layout, a set offering, what time you'd get there for, what you'd offer them, how you would stay and finish off the show. Those are all very important things. So that's what you want to bring forward, because it's all about making extra money, not about wasting your time, their time, and your money. So that's also very important. Now, number three, a lot of people miss this. You live in a city, you live in a town, you live in a neighborhood, you live in a subdivision. These people are always putting on special events. These cities and towns always need equipment where they're going and doing these announcements. You can be that person. That's what it's all about. You set up the equipment, you get there ahead of time. Now remember, these things usually take place for like 20 minutes, but you're booking for a 4-hour gig because you've got to get there ahead of time. You have to do all the scheduling, all the setups. You have to get all the equipment ready before anything even starts. You have to do all the tests and all that. Then the event, and then you got to unpack and go home, right? That's all billable. That's a full, half-day service that you put on there for these people. And it's a great way to make extra money because, again, these things take place in the weekdays, in the middle of the afternoon. They're not something that takes place for 6 hours at night. That's a good way to make extra money. So, again, look at the announcement, the event, find out who you have to talk to. And a lot of times you can go and ask the people there. You can, it's always nicer and easier when a smiling face comes up to somebody and says, how do I do business with the city? That's very important, because once you start that relationship and you build on it, you're going to find yourself going down a nice path to having an established relationship with your city or town. And that's a great way to make extra money. Number 4, corporate events. These things go on all the time. They're everywhere, and they're in all different shapes and sizes, from car dealerships having special events to, a boardroom conference where we're going to be presenting a new product launch, or we're just having a whole bunch of people come in from out of state or out of, province, and we need to put on a big show, or we're presenting a whole new concept to our business, whatever it is. We sold a lot of PA equipment during the pandemic because people needed to do safety training meetings everywhere. And it wasn't like it was all this small, medium size, because all it was talk. It was a safety meeting. But now we're back to having those bigger events, those outdoor events, those big boardrooms, the warehouse showing off the new car launch. Look at this wonderful battery we build now. They need you to set up your equipment, put on a good light show maybe, and more importantly, let them do their entire big announcement. Very important. That's what you can bring to the table. That's, again, you can always look and see what are the most active companies out there. Just Google around, look around. Look at what they're saying in their news. These companies always have a news feed, stuff like that. And then that's where you start. Again, you open the door by introducing yourself to the company, and usually try and do it in a way that gets you an actual conversation going with somebody, because that's very important. Because if you can talk to somebody, then your foot's in the door. Because an email is not getting your foot in the door. That's just somebody coming to you and asking you for, that sort of stuff. You need to proactively try and find these people. That would be the best thing to do. Corporate events, amazing way to make money. And the whole idea here is to do more and more on your own in a tighter, closer community, like everybody's in your community, that sort of thing, right? And do it so this way it's not costing you advertising dollars, because advertising dollars is very, very expensive to recuperate. Trade shows. Oh my gosh. Trade shows are like a great way to make extra money, because these are companies that are going to be coming to your town, to your neighborhood, and they're going to be going and setting up at a trade show. they need PA equipment to do all of that. They need somebody to come in, do the setup, get it all going for them, show them how to get the basics, and you may or may not need to stay. You may be, charging them for setup and tear down because you got to set up the equipment, show them how to use the Bluetooth feature on it, be there for technical support, and then come back and tear it down. You may be renting them some of your equipment for 4 days, and you're going to make some serious coin doing that. That is an amazing way to make extra income with the equipment you have. And the nice part is these are not, people are not renting this equipment for a party. Very important. They're not renting it for that, they might damage my equipment. No, they tend to be renting it out because they want to have some background music. They want to have announcements to be told and be set up. They need all of these kind of things arranged for them. And they're not abusers of equipment. That's not their intent. They're there to sell boats or whatever it is that they're doing a show for. That's how you want to help out. That's how you want to make that extra money for these particular shows. Also, if you're looking for a backdoor way to get into a wedding show and not have to pay, but be one of the most noticeable DJs on the actual platform, there's always shows that go on during the trade show. Somebody's showing off new wedding dresses, stuff like that. There's a fashion show or this or that. You can be the DJ for that event. If you come to them and say, I'll do this for you. We'll set up for you. We'll bring you the biggest light show that we can. We'll bring you a full setup so this way it looks incredibly professional. Even if you pay for that on top of that, tell them I'd like to have a booth and I will do the show for you as a bonus. That is amazing. That's you getting in the back door, having something that no other DJ at a wedding show is going to be having, which is the basically full attention of everybody during these actual shows. Very impressive. Now, as a DJ, you always think about, okay, I'm the guy playing the music. There's also a whole nother side of the business, right? I mean, your competition is a live band. Well, a lot of time live bands don't have big enough equipment to do the jobs they need to do, or they're coming to do a special job somewhere they're flying in. They don't want to bring all their equipment. You can be the person who actually does the front of house work for them. That's the sound engineer who's going to set up the equipment and run the show for them while they perform. There's nothing wrong with being that guy. That's a good paying job. A lot of times people need their equipment in their bar stepped up because they're having a bigger band come in, and that can be you. So that's another great opportunity. Remember, it's all about talking to people and making sure people remember you before they remember somebody else. Halls and hotels. A lot of them have their own equipment. They are set up that way. But there's always a good relationship to have there. Again, halls will tend to have some basic stuff set up, and that's what they want to push. But if you can say, you know what, if we come up with a relationship, especially if you're in a smaller town, if you're in a town or a suburb of a major city, you might be one of the best people to go to when it comes to that hall or hotel nearby. They're really close to where you live, and they're going to need that extra DJ support. And if there's somebody local that they can work with, and you're going to give them a little bit of, the cheddar on the side, a little kickback for making that referral. So if you do gigs there and they're the ones who sent you the clients to talk to, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially you can package that in with the hotel and the services and all that. That's a great way to make extra money. And again, you didn't have to advertise. Remember that advertising is that kickback. So it's not like you went out and did all this Google advertising and Facebook advertising to try and drum up business. You took that money and put it right into that hotel or that hall. That's a good way to make some extra money there too. And here's your bonus money. Here we call them Jack and Jill's. I don't know what, you could be calling them something different yourself. Who knows? But it's, the bride and groom have a party before the wedding to raise some money to help pay for the wedding. And, a lot of times they're going to need games. I know quite a few DJs who have basically accumulated some really good games. We'll call them Price is Right category games, right? And they put a whole bunch of things together and they keep them aside in their garage or in their storage unit, and they use them for Jack and Jill's. And they usually try and bundle this in with the wedding DJ package. The idea is make more money so they can make more money, so they can pay you more money. It's all about the money Let's not lie to ourselves. We're doing this because it's fun, but there's an income to it as well. So if you want, you can just do the DJ service part. So if you really want to make that extra money doing things like what we call Jack and Jill, again, they might be called something else there somewhere else, but that pre-party before the wedding. So this way everybody comes out and has a good time and they donate a whole bunch of money to help with the wedding itself, right? Games are a great way to generate money in these things. So you say, look, I'm going to do this for you. I've got a package set up, and that's going to include these 6 games, which I will MC throughout the night and do my thing and help you raise more money. So this way you can pay for me, of course, but more importantly, you can pay for that very important day, your wedding. That's my bonus right there. Look into that. That's a really big money maker, and it shouldn't be something that you charge less for than a full day. It might be a half day package, so you might only charge half a day for that. But more importantly, you're adding all these extra games and services to it. So, and of course, these are things that I have that I, collected over the years of people talking to me, because of course, having an actual retail business dealing with PA equipment for that long opens up the doors of thought, right? Like, people have creative ways of making money. And notice not one of these ways involved renting out your equipment to somebody on a Saturday night to have a house party. That is the number one way to destroy your equipment. They can go to a retail store, rent equipment there, and they can have a party that way. Never rent your equipment out to somebody you do not know. Never do that. No. Well, I hope this helped you out today a bit in your, quest of making more money. Maybe we'll see you next video. Like I say, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if this was something you thought was kind of like different and interesting and you'd like to see it again. Leave some comments down below. That's always important. Like I say, thanks for watching again. See you next time.